Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the EGU podcast, where you can learn all about mindset, energy, business, and abundance, plus all things spiritual from a variety of global experts. I am Michelle Reinhardt of A Million Dollar Mindset and founder of Entrepreneurs Globally Unite, delivering incredible value to you, for you. Shine bright, superstars. That's why you're here. Hey, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Today could be a massive game changer for you. We're going to learn inspired intuition for faster results in your life and your business. And to do that, I've invited a valued member of my online community, Entrepreneurs Globally Unite. I've been watching this lady literally create.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm so excited about this interview, and I'm so happy that we're connecting in this way. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it sure is. Folks, grab a pen and paper, turn off your zings and pings for 30 minutes, and please join us to set your intention to learn a new set of game-changing strategies to tune up your abundance frequency and learn abundance in the language of the universe. Let me tell you a little bit about this gorgeous gal. Suzanne Goulet is a life coach, a spiritual mentor, and distance energy healer. She's the creator of the live global energetic downloads and producer of the resulting energetic meditation CDs. She has a natural gift of being able to receive spiritual and transformative energies and guides individuals in strengthening their own connection to Source in order to shift, transform, and experience the empowerment that comes from co-creating their lives with working with leading corporate companies across North America. She provided brand awareness and representatives for FIJI water and on and off the red carpet events for Toronto Film Festival, exclusive film festival parties, as well as a design exchange and the Canadian Film Centre. We have a superstar in our midst, people. For the past 8 years, she's proven high-level personal, business and spiritual mentoring to hundreds of people from all over the world. She's a creator and leader of the Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood and works privately with high-performing, accomplished entrepreneurs and entertainment industry professionals, preparing them for the world stage. Vanessa guides her clients to create greater success, impact, wealth, and fulfillment by fully aligning them with their deepest truth and most powerful gifts. Oh, please give me... I can't wait to get into this. A huge warm welcome to you, Vanessa. Our topic today is inspired intuition for faster results in business and life. And I'm going to hand over to this lovely lady. Please tell us what you do and how you got into it.
Yeah, it's been an adventure, I'll say the least. And hearing you, introduce me, I mean, my mind was just seeing myself through all the decades of my life and what got me here. And it's a very interesting journey. So now I'm very niched in my business. I wasn't always this way. But I basically work with the accomplished entrepreneurs, high performing, mostly women. And that's what's been really coming to me in the last year. It just very much aligned for women to start coming to see me. I had been seeing men and women before that for years, and I help them to prepare for the world stage. So I'm working with small business owners, a lot of coaches, consultants, creative individuals, entertainment industry professionals, because I came from that industry. So I know all about it.
Yeah, you know the language, you know the talk.
Yes. I know what the expectations are and what it's like to show up in that industry. And being an entrepreneur for so many years, these people are my family. We're soul family. I know what it's like to dance in both worlds. And they actually are very similar on many levels, because the heart and soul to all this work is really coming in alignment to your truest essence, your gifts, your superpowers, and knowing how to elevate that and make a greater impact in the world with that. So my work really is a combination of and it's often difficult to put it into words. My business title is Intuitive Success Coach.
Yeah.
But I do work in a variety of ways. So I am a master healer and a master coach. So I do coaching, healing work, but it's a blend of spiritual, life, relationship, as well as business mentorship and coaching and healing work. So my work works on a variety of levels: energy, mindset, getting you into the body, feeling the emotions, using your body, your intuition, as well as your soul's and the divine higher consciousness guidance that we're all programmed with, so that you are really stepping into your greatness and your mission, and you're doing what you came here to do, and not allowing any obstacles or limitations to continue to get in the way of that. For some people, it is a total transformation, and they're really stepping into what I like to call the endings and beginnings of entrepreneurship. It's a complete destruction of the old and creating of the new. And for other clients, it's very much, we're doing refinements and tweaks. And those little simple tools or techniques or the tweaks that we do on whatever level it is that their being is requiring it, end up catapulting them to an entirely different level of success in their lives and in their businesses. So that's the first little part.
But look, what I'm getting is a great big picture of the beginning and the end of a journey, which is just beautiful, because we all go through the highs and the lows, the peaks and the troughs. We must learn the language of our body, the language of our soul, the language of our heart. We've got to connect very deeply into that heart, and that is where I feel it all begins. Mm-hmm. So many people just don't even know who they are.
Yes.
And where they're going or how to get there. So let's come right back to the start with the intuition. I'm guessing that's where you start getting in. So can you share that with us? Because everyone talks about intuition and spirituality. What do you do with your clients to help click that in for them to see and turn it all on?
Right. Yeah, I think, one of the biggest issues that I see for most people who perhaps, let's say, struggle in this area is that we're very disconnected from our bodies and from our spirituality, from our souls. A lot of my clients, when they first come to me, are living in their heads, and it's normal. This is not, I'm not saying this from judgment. This is coming from somebody who spent many years living in her head and seeing how that was not actually advancing me forward in my business and my money and in my success, just generally speaking. So,
sorry, but there's quite possibly a large audience sitting there nodding their head with you.
Yes, and to be fair, we are basically conditioned from the time we are children to be in our heads. It's very rare, unless we were raised with maybe more conscious parents or parents who were doing body work, or we were naturally more in our bodies and very in tune with our bodies and very self-aware, that we were taught, to go to school, to memorize, to, have a certain kind of lifestyle and life that we create for ourselves. But it's mostly linear, rational. It's all cognitive, intellectualized. And so we live a lot neck up. And the biggest problem is there's so much more going on neck below. It's like majority of our whole being is neck below. So, I think the beginning process is, I taught yoga for many years, and I teach meditation and all of that. And I think the initial process that I like to really have my clients and the women in my sisterhood tap into is starting to get familiar with their bodies and starting to get familiar with what's happening inside of me. When I'm making business decisions, is that feeling like there's a contraction there? Am I feeling expansive in my being? Does it feel really soft and warm, or does it feel tight and tense? Do I feel stressed when I think about that? And the logical part of ourselves will say, well, this is the right thing to do. You should go and do this. but the body's not on board. The intuitive part of ourselves, even our divinity, our soul, our higher self, may be actually trying to deviate us another way, but we're like, nope, this is the right thing to do. And how many times have I done that over the course of careers? Countless times. And it makes it more difficult, I find. So the key is to really start setting time aside to sit with yourself. What are you feeling? What are you noticing, the sensations in your body? And it can be very simple. The beginning process doesn't have to be about psychic awareness or, can I hear my soul and deciphering the information right away. It's just an observation. It's almost like an acknowledgement that, hey, yeah, I might be living up here a little bit, and that's okay, but I'm now aware that there's a lot more going on neck below. So what's happening in there? I'm really curious.
Yes. Yeah, I really love that. I love that because that begins a completely different dialogue of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And you can then understand with your heart and move forward completely differently. It's very true, isn't it? We're given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a really good reason, to obviously listen twice as much as we speak. And that goes for internally listening very much so, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, it is the internal listening that I know for a matter of fact that has had me sitting here having this conversation with you, that has really helped me to show up and support and be in service to so many people over the years. It wasn't just opening a book and reading books or taking, programs around business. Yes, those things are important. We have to have practical intellectual understanding. I understand that, and it is helpful. But the whole other end to this, becoming more intuitive, really is about becoming more self-aware of what's going on inside of us, because we're receiving so much information all the time, but if we're not listening to it, then we have no way of acting upon that guidance and what we're hearing. So it takes conscious awareness and devotion to setting time every day to check in with yourself regularly and listen, notice what's happening inside of you.
Can I get really basic with you for this? Because there may be some people sitting there thinking, well, how do I get spoken to? How do I, because I know we're all different, uniquely so. What are some of the things that people might start to feel or hear when they begin to take that time and tune in and listen?
Right. It's a great question. I taught an intuition workshop for years.
Wow.
And and one of those things was really making intuition practical, because there's several levels to it. I believe that we're all intuitive, and intuition is the expression of our higher level of consciousness and our body's wisdom telling us what's in alignment for us and what's not. So when we're first starting off in this process, to expect, because humans, we seem to have these expectations. Oh my goodness, I'm going to sit and my brain's going to shut off and I'm going to hear the voice of my soul and God coming through and giving me all the wisdom and nuggets that I need to be a successful business owner or have an amazing life. And the truth is, it may not work like that. So first of all, it's recognizing in your body what I like to call the green light, the yellow light, and the red light. So this is important to take some notes. I'm going to advise.
Please. Great advice.
Yeah, to just kind of, I'll slow down a little bit in this piece too, so that everyone can get a bit of an understanding around it. Our bodies are so brilliant, and they know it can caution us when things are really off track, when we need a little bit more time, space, or information, and when something is right on track. And our bodies don't have fear involved in that sense. The mind has more of the fear, the limiting beliefs, the programming to basically sway us out of what is aligned and what's not. So the first part of this is take some time out and just sit with yourself on a chair or a cushion. Now, your job is not to try to make your thoughts stop, because they won't. So be with what's coming up, and without any judgment, just observe. And then what you can start to do is just start to notice in your body what's happening neck below. I'm feeling my foot's falling asleep, or there's some heat in my left elbow, or my stomach is gurgling a little bit right now. My breathing is really deep and full. So I'm just giving some examples.
No, I love it. But I'm just going into a mini trance here. Don't mind.
That's all good. It's all good. It's great. Let's go into the trance. And then you can start to ask your body, your system, certain things that maybe are coming up for you where you're not 100% clear. So you can test this out, experiment with it. And then it will start to become more natural and just, organic for you to do this in your everyday life. So if there's maybe something or someone that you're not sure about, or a definitive answer, you think about somebody that maybe you're not 100% at peace with, let's say, and you think about them and you're thinking about the relationship, notice what happens in your body. If there's some unresolved conflict or something going on there, for example, what you may notice in the body is that there's a contraction, a tightness, there's a tension, there's maybe knots in the body. You might feel nauseous, sick to your stomach. There's just this feeling of danger. I mean, I'm giving you various examples depending on the extreme to that relationship that you're, let's say, in conflict with. And that's just one example. And that's the red stoplight.
Yeah.
Right? So the red stoplight is, this is danger. Do not go here. If you do this, you're really veering off of track. And we have a very visceral and physiological, biological, let's say, response in our body of, this is not for me. So, I like to use the example, you've made a wrong turn down a dark alleyway, and your stomach is really tightening up and clenching because it doesn't feel right. You feel like you're in danger. That's like that gut visceral response. So the red stoplight, when you're feeling in your body, tends to feel really off, really yucky, if we're going to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any questions about that, Michelle?
No, at all. No, I completely agree. And if people have trouble getting into that emotion, they can always do so by going through some images.
Yes, anything.
It triggers what doesn't feel right. We know what's not right on the level. So if you need to get into that feeling to actually, into that thought pattern to internalize that feeling, you can do that way as well.
And then it will trigger you into that response. Absolutely. And then it becomes, as I'm saying, more natural in your everyday living of your life when you kind of, because what this exercise is that I'm giving everyone right now is the ability for you to know how your body responds intuitively.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
My body may respond very differently from yours.
Of course.
When it's the red stoplight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So red is pretty clear. There's just a clarity around what doesn't feel right. Where I find some people have a bit of an issue is in the yellow stoplight area, the yellow area, because that's where we may find ourselves flip-flopping or being confused or starting to second guess sometimes. And the yellow can often feel, there's like an uneasiness to it. There's maybe a slight tension in our bodies, or there's just this feeling like I can't really proceed and I'm not sure why. And I don't know what it is. Now, sometimes a lot of people, in my experience with clients and with myself in the past, we will tend to act on it anyways without stopping, pausing, and giving ourselves the ability to wait for more information
yes.
from our body or from outside sources. and to be with what we're feeling, what we're sensing in those emotions, in that feeling of uneasiness. It's not a yucky feeling the way the red zone is, but the yellow zone is not feeling like it's a green light either. There's something about it that we know, okay, doesn't feel 100% on, doesn't feel off, but there's something about this that I need to explore more. And the great example I can give to you is if you've ever met somebody in business or a client and you feel, and this is great for business too, giving this reference, there's something about them, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Right? Like,
we use the words all the time, don't we?
Yes.
I put my finger on that.
There's something about him or her that
something doesn't sit right. Something doesn't feel right.
Yes. And that's where you really, in the yellow zone, you have to pause and give yourself the spaciousness to feel. And in the yellow zone, which is probably where a lot of us are going to be majority of the time, I find, that's when we have to start to really sit with and decipher, is this fear talking? Is this a limiting belief that I have about myself, or a projection that I have about this person, or this situation? What is it specifically? Is it about me? Or is it in general that I just need to maybe wait for more information before I make this decision about this business deal, or taking this client on, or signing, a contract or something? I have to pause and be patient. And sometimes you have to make a quick decision with certain things. So we tend to say, sleep on it. Yeah. Give yourself the evening to sleep on it, so that when you wake up through your hours of rest, what we're recalibrating as human beings.
Yes.
There's no mind or ego that is coming up in our sleep. It's like we're more lucid, we're more awake, and in the sense of our openness. So our guidance can come through much more cleanly and clearly.
I love that. And this is a real grey area, isn't it? The yellow stoplight, because if we're moving into a space in our lives where we haven't been before, our body's going to go, wait, I can't match this to anything. I'll put you in fear. And that's where we need to really stop and think, well, hang on, I can't look in my past because there's nothing to draw on there. So then we obviously have that space, that time to sleep on it, and then we get to move to the next color.
Yes, which is green. And I love what you said, because my experience in so many enrollment conversations over the years is that there will be clients that are really aligned to doing this work, but then go into yellow and then allow the fear to take them, and it just totally puts them back into the life and the choices that they've been making.
Yes, because that's familiar. That's what they know.
Exactly.
Again, better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
It's true. It's true. So this is why this exercise is so good, because when you're being stretched, when you're evolving as a human being, especially to all the wonderful listeners, you're conscious, you're awakening, you are in a accelerated state of ascension right now on multiple levels. You're being stretched.
Yes.
And when you're being stretched, it's not fun. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable.
Yes, it is.
And I always like to say that when we're being stretched, it doesn't always mean, and we're feeling the fear or we're feeling the resistance, that does not always mean that something's misaligned. Okay? That doesn't mean that what's aligned and what's true for you is going to feel pleasurable all the time. So you have to know what the green feels like for you underneath, let's say, the fear that's coming up, or the resistance.
I agree completely. So what does the green feel like?
Yes, everyone's like, what's the green? Come on. Green is obviously the total opposite to our red and even to our yellow. So green is this sense of, there's a feeling of peace, a feeling of relaxation in the body. There's this knowingness deep in the core of our being that is a full, as I like to call it, a full-bodied yes. or a hell yes, where you're just 100% on board. It feels alive. It can feel very inspiring. It feels right. And so the body's visceral responses can just be a sense of expansion or relaxation. There's just this easiness, this fluidity. Sometimes there's this excitement of butterflies a little bit. But mostly it's just this almost, I like to describe it, the yes is like this groundedness. Sometimes it isn't this excitement. It can be, but the green is very much like, yeah, there's something about this that absolutely feels right. Sometimes it is, oh my gosh, that's it. You know, I've had that with my soulmate clients where I'll see and I'll feel the energy just from an application. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're going to work together. I have this intuitive feeling that this person and I are meant to work together. So it is a hell yes, a full-bodied yes. The red is like a full-bodied no in every way, and a hell no. And then the yellow is kind of like, I'm not sure, and I need a little bit of extra time. So this is a very simplified way. Obviously, there's so much more to learn about this, because as we develop, so too does our ability to hear, feel, know, and see beyond our body, beyond what's in our physical reality. And we call those, you know, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, and clairsentience. I'm missing one. Clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance. Yes.
Clairaudience. Thank you. I missed it. And then and that starts to unfold the more we're in our spiritual practices, the more we are sitting in stillness, and the more we're starting to now call in, you know, higher levels of awareness. We start to reprogram some of those limitations in the mind, and we start to open up our right brain a little bit more, where we're bridging our hemispheres of our brain, and it's our entire being is now expanding, holding more light and of a higher awareness, and we have more access to, you know,
all that
information. Sorry, go ahead.
All that is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think too, I'd love to touch on the fact that if people are new and listening to us and just tapping into this, meditation doesn't always have to be sitting on a cushion.
Right.
It's a way to tap into what you do, that your soul loves to do, that brings you peace. For me, when I first started, I could sit on a cushion now for hours and I lose time. I lose hours, but I couldn't do that. My mind was way too busy. So I started my journey tuning in, walking up the mountain, just being in nature.
Yes.
You know, some people are sitting there listening to the waves. Whatever that is, go to that place and sink into it, and then tune into your feelings. And that's much more natural than trying to do something that someone says you should do.
That's a great point. And it's so true, because what's going to happen if you are not somebody who's naturally feeling relaxed or open or gravitating towards sitting on a cushion every single day, and you get into the cushion and you try to conform to what a teacher or an expert, let's say, is telling you to do, that this is the way, and you're completely uncomfortable and you're focusing on how uncomfortable your body is, or you know, it doesn't feel right to you, then you're not going to have the access that I'm talking about or that we're discussing. So if your thing is being in nature or going to the ocean or fishing or surfing or, you know, walking in a labyrinth or, you know, just, you know, lying on your bed and just listening to the breeze coming in through the window. I mean, that's it. It's what's right and true for you.
That's very, very true. I love that, because that is the only way. You know, we are so uniquely and perfectly different.
Absolutely.
So, Vanessa, we've gone a completely different track to what we thought we might today, so I'm going to have to bring you back.
That's fine. Yes, please. Sorry about that.
just a couple of quick questions, and then I'm going to invite you to give us a couple of really hot tips for our takeaways for our viewers. And then I need people to know how to find you because they're going to want to, of course. So I would love to know if you could give one piece of wisdom to your 10-year-old self. What would that be? Many of us are mums. Many of us, what would that be?
First initial pieces that came up. Trust yourself and trust the process of life. We are so much more supported than we actually think we are and believe we are. And telling that part of myself that, life is happening for you. Everything in your life, you're not a victim. You are not powerless. You are a powerful creator that can create worlds, as Abraham says, and has the ability to generate and provide for yourself and create whatever it is that you truly deep down in your heart and soul and entire being wants. And that life wants that for you too. Everything is taking you there. You have to trust yourself, trust the process, and know that you are so much more powerful than you probably would ever even know and believe, and you're supported in the process.
Oh, wow. And if that took our listeners into a red stop sign, then you need to call on someone that can help bring out that uniqueness and beauty in you, and just believe it and trust, because we are awakening. Our world is changing. Things are shifting so very quickly. Things aren't what they used to be. We don't have to take the years and years to move through spaces and times, and experts just like yourself are stepping up there to help and fast track people's journeys.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry. That's not supposed to come on. It's supposed to be on Do Not Disturb. That's
all right. Don't worry. That's perfectly okay. So I love that advice. I love, just to recap, I love the stop signs, the stop lights. I love having a visual, because we are visual beings, and to be able to just stop, and whenever we go into a bit of a spin, just stop and think, hang on, which colour? Where am I? And feel it. It's very, very powerful, very powerful. And yes, I do have a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old who are very in tune and intuitive, and they blow me away sometimes with what they do know that I certainly didn't teach them. So they're getting it from somewhere other than me, which is just absolutely beautiful. I'm very blessed. So 3 hot takeaways to wow and support and nurture our audience. We've got, you probably have the list there in front. If you need a prompt, let me know.
Yeah, I'm good to share the things that I feel are really important, and the top 3 takeaways that they're very short and sweet too.
Yeah.
Intuition can beat the rational mind, or what we would call logic or information. So, information may say this is the right way to go. You should do this. You should be doing that. This is the way to make money. This is the way to, have your business skyrocket to the next level. And the truth is, if like intuitively in your body and the guidance that you're receiving, it doesn't feel right, that is actually the thing to follow. Intuition really does not lead you down the wrong path. It is truth.
Yes, I love that. So intuition beats information hands down.
Yes.
Get rid of all those objects that are clogging up your inbox, all the bright, shiny objects, new courses, all those sorts of things. Sit and tune in before you hit the download button and just see if it feels right for you, if it's the right information for you.
Yes, absolutely. The other piece that I would say too around this is, knowing, because we're talking about abundance and we didn't really get into abundance and intuition exactly, but I think this is maybe a really great start for the audience, because money is energy. Money is something that comes from us following what's true for us, whether that be our heart, whether that be the guidance of our body, our soul, telling us to go somewhere. My business success, the money that I generate, is coming from the development of my intuitive abilities. It is coming from the way I tap into spirit and the way I work with my soul. I mean, yes, I've been on this path for a long time. So I've in that sense, I've been on that maybe more of that advanced level of that. But money is not just coming from your client. Your money is coming from you being the generator, the source of that, and tapping into the part of you, believing, knowing, trusting that consciousness, the universe, God, source, spirit, whatever it is that you call and that it resonates for you, is your soul and source provider.
Absolutely.
So money is energy, and the more you have the ability to lighten your load, because that's what enlightening really is. It means to lighten up. One of my mentors told me that.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's the truth. It's lightening up. And lightening up to me means lightening what we're carrying in our energy, our energy field, lightening what we're carrying in our body. So eating lighter, eating more for, higher consciousness, for our spiritual and personal growth. Lightening means letting go of the load of the fears and the limiting beliefs. Lightening means really feeling fully through the emotions that we've repressed for years. And when we are lighter, we have the ability to tap more into the energies of the things that we're calling forth. Money, clients, new business partners, opportunities. So just know that money is not this mystical thing that some people can have and others can't. It really is available for all of us. And it is about lightening up and also becoming more attuned and aware that, there is an energy, a frequency that money has, and it's available for all.
It is too. And it vibrates right up there with happiness and joy and love. And that is so true. You just have, and you can, if you find that you're not in that frequency, find ways to get there by having more fun, by playing music, by getting out in nature. Gratitude is massive. Yeah, absolutely. And even forgiveness.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. If you fall into that space where things aren't great, or you butt up against someone that triggers or pushes buttons, forgive them, be grateful for the learning, and that will just click you right back up there again. So it's awareness, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It is. And it's coming back to even what I shared around the 10-year-old self. Everything is happening for you.
Yes.
So if you're in an unfortunate circumstance right now, or there's a lot of challenges or financial struggles, or business is not where you would like it to be, remove yourself from feeling like a victim and tap back into your power and ask yourself, how is this happening for me right now?
Yes.
How is this happening for me and benefiting me, helping me to get to where I really want to go? Life is always infinitely supporting us. And sometimes we have to go through painful circumstances to wake up in order to be in more of the ease, in order for us to have those breakthroughs.
Yes.
So, it is all about self-awareness. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Mm-hmm.
And point number 3.
Point number 3, when in doubt, slow down.
Oh. What do you mean you just can't keep pushing and shoving and hoping it'll turn around?
Oh, I've been there. I beat that drum many times. I just went through that even this week. There was a deeper calling in my body to slow down and to create spaciousness around something in my business. And then my mind was like, no, this is the thing. This is what we need to be doing. We've dedicated ourselves to this. We spent so many hours working on this project and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I let it go. And I can't tell you, it was giving myself a space this week to slow down.
Yeah.
Feel into my body. What was aligned, what was true, what was the green light.
Yes.
And the wisdom I got, the information I received was to let it go.
Yeah, wow. Let it go. You don't.
And when I did that, I feel so much more open and lighter, and it feels right. So no, it's not always about forcing and pushing and struggling. Yes, we have to take action consistently, but really at the end of the day, slowing down is going to be it's going to be your business partner for the rest of your years as an entrepreneur, for the rest of your life. You know, slowing down does not mean that you're not going to have the things you want and desire, including abundance, including more success. In fact, it's essential.
It is. It really is. Absolutely right. I think we'll have to rename this interview into a mastermind for intuition and abundance frequency. Because I just saw the time, and I usually set a timer, and I didn't today. So we've
sorry, everybody.
I'm sure you're getting your money's worth, people. So Vanessa, I'm just going to recap quickly for our listeners. So we need to be really super aware that intuition beats information, hands down, every time. Money is energy. It's there for all of us. And when in doubt, slow down. I love it. So Vanessa, awesome. Where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me. Well, my website is currently going through a few technological issues. So if you go to my website, I'm afraid you might not actually get in touch with me right now.
All right.
So it just started to happen this week. But it's vanessapetronelli.com. It will be back up and running. I will be going through a new rebrand very soon. But the best way I would say to really stay in touch with me, I'm very active on social media. I post every day. I do a lot of live videos. I post a lot of really I would say relevant, inspiring content for entrepreneurs, business owners, and just people in general.
I agree.
And thank you. I really put a lot of heart and soul into that and channel a lot of my higher guidance into everything that I'm writing and curating on social media. So Instagram is at Vanessa Petronelli, VANESSAPETRONELLI. And then on Facebook, you can come to my public figure page, and that's at V Petronelli. So same last name, doesn't change, just instead of the full name, Vanessa, it's just V Petronelli. And you can join me there. And eventually, if you'd like to subscribe to my newsletter, I do post some different content on there. You're more than welcome to reach out to me through Facebook, and I can add you to my newsletter until my site is back up and running.
That's beautiful. And of course, Vanessa is a very active contributor in my online community at Entrepreneurs Globally Unite on Facebook. So if all else fails, you can find her on the page in there. And I believe you have a special little gift or giveaway for our listeners.
Yes. Well, this is one of the best ways to develop intuition. And so what I will share, if you're really ready to start taking action immediately, and unfortunately this particular offer is geared more toward women because this is my Soul Aligned Success Sisterhood, but this program very much works with women to get fully aligned and connected to their intuitive abilities, to their soul's guidance, to their feminine wisdom, and to their femininity, in creating success and fulfillment on all levels.
So step one.
Yeah, it really is. You know, so if you're feeling like, oh, wow, I want to learn a little bit more about that, you can visit the website. You can check it out. It's my vanessapetronelli.com/SAS, SASS. And you can visit the page. Thanks. That was all divinely downloaded, the whole name. And my offer to you is, you know, if it feels like it really resonates, we can definitely set up a call where we'll work through and see if or how I can support you, and if SAS will be a fit for you, and we'll help you to dive in more deeply on around the things in your business and your life that you feel aren't allowing you to step into the fullness and greatness that you are. So that's my gift to you. I'm happy to speak to those of you who are ready and would like to start seeing upgrades and up levels happening at an accelerated rate in the near future.
I absolutely love it. Thank you so very much, Vanessa. That is very, very generous of you. So, folks, if your life's not where you'd like to be, I'd love to remind you that you don't have to do this alone. This is a journey of a lifetime. It begins with a single step. So find someone that you resonate with, that you want to journey with, and reach out and ask them to journey with you, and they will. We're all on this journey together, and our sole purpose is to support each other in doing just that. So, Vanessa, thank you for your commitment and your contribution to women in sisterhood, in humanity, and keep shining bright, sweetheart, because we need you to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It is much
for the amazing work that you're doing, bringing entrepreneurs, conscious entrepreneurs, trailblazers for the new template of business together like this. This is so needed and so necessary because so many of us are traveling alone, and we think that we're alone and that we don't have tribe or community, and we need that. We need to be here for each other. So you've been a beautiful woman, inspiration and guide for so many, and creating this community all over the world to bring us here. So thank you as well for the wonderful work you're doing in the world, Michelle.
You're going to make me cry.
True.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I deeply appreciate your words.
No problem.
With that, lovely people, we will say goodbye for now. We will see you next week. You can find me at $1,000,000mindset.com. Huge love and blessings to all. Thank you, Vanessa.
Bye, everybody. Much love to you.
Bye.